Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and today we're looking at Tropius. Tropius has some interesting stats, that almost 100 on the base hit points, really, 99? And then not too much on the offenses, but still some good defensive stats, and then not a lot of speed. Looking at its type, grass flying. That's not a fun typing at all. 4 times weakness to ice. Ice is already common because of all those 4 times weak dragons. We also have fire, rock, poison, and flying weaknesses. We do get that immunity to ground, which I guess is pretty nice, and a couple of resistances, but overall, grass flying is going to make it pretty hard to set up, but if you can get set up, this Pokemon might be pretty promising. Getting into Pokemon Showdown, Tropius gets Dragon Dance? What? None of that makes sense. Dragon Dance on Tropius? What? I don't get it. It also has some pretty good abilities. That is one of the few Pokemon to have Harvest. 50% chance that your berry is restored at the end of the turn, 100% in Sun, as well as Chlorophyll and Solar Power. Now unfortunately, its offenses don't seem really high enough to make the most out of Chlorophyll and Solar Power, and this Pokemon is also purely driven by Sunlight, that if you can put it on a Sun team, might be able to get some work in for you. But my main idea is that in singles, you can probably just go for a Dragon Dance. If the opponent is setting up, or if you really just can get going in a good way with your tankiness, you might be able to survive pretty well. That if you just fully invest in the hit points, invest enough in your speed that you're outspeeding 135 base speed Pokemon after 2 boosts, that's pretty much what this is all about. That Dragon Dance boosts your attack and speed by 1, so you use it twice, doubles your speed. That's going to get you over most of the fast Pokemon in the game, and then you're really set up from there. That Body Slam Seed Bomb, going to be a good amount of damage. Seed Bomb, going to have Stab, or you can also run Bullet Seed. Bullet Seed is a really interesting kind of gamble. That if it's 3 times, you're doing slightly less damage than Body Slam. If it's 4 or 5 times, you're doing much more damage. But if it's at 2 times, you're doing a lot less damage, and it's just kind of a risk from there. Body Slam is a move I really enjoy because not many people know that if the opponent has used Minimize, Body Slam doubles in power. Also, that 30% chance to paralyze is really good as well. That some Pokemon, you know, if you hit them with a Body Slam or 2, they're paralyzed. Now they're even slower, and now they're just going to have that chance of being hindered, while also just being shut down just a bit by it, and then Protect. My idea, you Dragon Dance, Citrus Berry happens, you use Protect, depending on where your health is, Citrus Berry happens again because of Harvest. You just try to stall it out while getting some good synergy off that Citrus Berry into Dragon Dance, and this is where even Fly could work. That since Fly puts you semi-invulnerable for that one turn, you know, Dragon Dance gives you that speed boost, you might get that outspeed, which is why we have the EVs spread out the way that we do. And then after that, you know, you use Fly, you might be up in the air, Harvest gets your Citrus Berry back, you land, you take damage, and then you can set up another Dragon Dance, Citrus Berry heals you, and then you have a good amount of damage from there. But the problem is, you know, so many super effective hits, that if somehow you get to find a Pokemon that's only packing neutral, you're going to be very solid, but with all the things they have to dodge, it's going to be very hard to get Tropius set up. However, if it does, it might look pretty promising with that Dragon Dance. Now, its offenses aren't the greatest though, so pretty much you're going to be somewhat bulky, trying to throw out the strongest hits possible to hit KOing your opponent while not getting destroyed in return. That, again, if you can outspeed, maybe find that coverage, hit those super effective hits, it could go really nice for you, because you do have good stab. Flying and grass can work out pretty well, and again, we already discussed Body Slam a bit. Another thing Tropius can do is max out the special defense, max out the hit points, and just go for Curse and some kind of stall. That Chesto with Harvest is going to give you an almost infinite Chesto Resto. Curse is going to give you a really good amount of defenses that will help you survive some of those super effective hits. And then we have Toxic to burn down your opponent, and Earthquake to hit the Pokemon that aren't affected by it. Now Toxic and Earthquake are walled out by poison Pokemon with Levitate. Gengar and Weezing come to mind, but overall, you know, this can get some good stall, this can get some good bulk, and Earthquake gets to be doing a lot of damage. If the Pokemon isn't immune or resisted to Earthquake, after a couple of Curse, you could be packing a serious punch while also being very hard to knock out in return. That's what I've got for Tropius, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Very interesting Pokemon. Unfortunately, just doesn't have a lot of offenses that you can naturally run away with. If it did, we have a little bit more of a use with Chlorophyll and Solar Power. But overall, Harvest, Sustain, Citrus Berry, Dragon Dance, tanky setup Pokemon does have a little bit of a chance of working, and it might work out for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have a nice day.